Moisty finally gave us his brave hot take on the tragedy of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Let's listen.
I think the assassination of Charlie Kirk, everything that happened here is fucking horrible. I think it is horrific.
Wow. Thank you for that, Charlie. Isn't it amazing how your audience had to cyberbully you into making this video? Because you said you talked about this on stream, but people said you were trying to hide it because you didn't make a video about it. I mean, you make videos about the most mundane, stupid stuff, and you give an opinion on that. And it took your audience to say, why don't you tell us what you really feel? Because a lot of people seem to be scared to say murder is bad. That's the reality. You like to condemn murder in the big 2025, bro? That's a wild thing to do. But it gets worse.
Awful. I think it is terrible. And I'm aware that some people have been celebrating this. I find that to be fucking disgusting. Now, as I said on stream,
Some people are celebrating the murder? That is shocking and disgusting. Again, like, you have to be very careful around these topics. Like, to condemn murder could be seen as a bad thing, and to condemn the celebration of murder could be a bad thing. Watch out, Charlie. You don't want to get cancelled for this.
I don't know much about Charlie Kirk. And I've seen a lot of people saying that now when, like, giving their take on this, and I think a lot of them are just making that shit up because they don't want to get, like, too deep into the nitty-gritty or anything.
Okay, there you go. You're a little bit self-aware there. So if you don't know much about what Charlie says, then don't give an opinion on what Charlie says. And when I say Charlie, I'm not talking about Moisty. I'm talking about Charlie Kirk, the real Charlie, the OG Charlie. Not this guy. Not this small Moisty fella who is so small that the only thing that keeps growing on him is his nose. And I don't mean small in just like size. I mean he's very small on issues. He doesn't have a spine. Like, people may applaud him for this, but there's nothing to this. Hey guys, it is disgusting that somebody got murdered, and it is disgusting that people are celebrating the murder. But we're about to hit that but. But what's the but?
But truly,
Yeah, but.
I've been very offline over the last year and some change, so I haven't seen a whole lot of Charlie Kirk. The things I know about him come through, like, adjacent discussions, like with Epstein files or South Park. Of course, after all this happened, I did see a bunch of the clips that people were tossing around from, like, his talks or from debates, and it's things I don't agree with for sure.
So you disagree with Charlie after the fact. You have to throw that in there, right? You're like, I think murder is bad, but I also got to distance myself from Charlie because, checks notes, he's a Christian. What specifically did you disagree with? The only thing I can think of is, well, he's a Christian. Most of the things he said were just very Christian. Very basic Christian beliefs. He was trying to bring Christ back to the schools. Was his whole goal. He stated that multiple times. So maybe you're against Christianity. Let's continue.
But even still, what happened here is bad. Even though I didn't agree with him from all of the things I have seen, it still doesn't change the way
I don't know him, didn't watch his content, just saw a bunch of memes, but I disagree with him. I have to make that clear, so I don't offend the troons in my chat who I want to keep happy. I want to side with the demons. I also want demons in my chat. If you're giving it a eulogy or something, do you go, look, I'm very sad that he died, but I did not agree with his taste in music? No. Why are you trying to distance yourself from him like he's a leper? Are you scared, Charlie? Where's your spine, Charlie? Why did you have to add that? You could have just left it at, I don't know the guy, I haven't watched his content, because you admitted that. But then you're like, I saw a couple of TikTok clips, and yeah, I have to say that I disagree with him. No, you don't have to say those things. This is distasteful.
I feel about this being a horrifying, terrible thing that happened to him. I think that's very standard. I know people are going to find that to be just, yep, grass is green take from Charlie, but it's the truth.
It is
how I feel. Political violence or violence of any kind like this, I think, is just fucking unacceptable, and it's extreme.
Well, at least you haven't completely lost your soul, although your eyes would say otherwise, man. It's looking like that soul's escaping through your nose. Always fence-sitting, and now he happens to be fence-sitting on good versus evil. Because you'll find that most sane Americans agreed with everything he said. And the people that say, there are a few things I didn't agree with, or I didn't agree with him on all things, they're just saying that because they are scared. Most sane Americans and nearly every Christian agreed with everything he said. Some of us just wish he went a bit harder on those things, or thought his stance was a bit soft on most things. But I would say that if you had more than 2 brain cells and were not a demon, you would agree with everything he said. But let's all give Moisty applause for doing the brave thing here. Finally making a video about this and saying that murder is bad and celebrating murder is bad, but then ruin it with some nonsense. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Remember, Christ is King.